Ultimate Frisbee is one of the fastest moving field sports that you can play, and requires some of the most endurance you need because you're always running. You're either on offense or on defense. When you're offense, you receive the Frisbee with a pull, a throw off. Receiving the Frisbee, the person holding the Frisbee cannot run with it. You establish a pivot and complete a pass up the field towards the goal line, and the goal is scored when the Frisbee is caught across the goal line.
Joel Silver, Buzzy Hellring, Johnny Hines. Joel is credited with probably being the primary impetus to the naming of the game. Johnny Hines is the main one who said, you know, we have to codify this. We have to come up with some written down set of rules so we understand how this concept that Joel brought back from summer camp with him is to be played.
I brought that game back with me to Columbia High, and I taught it to my friends.
They became a Frisbee entity.
Joel thought it'd be a good idea to write the rules, and Buzzy did, and I did, and Buzzy just took the lead. Why and how that happened, I don't know. I don't remember. But I sort of remembered, and Joel vividly remembers it, that Buzzy typed the rules.
Myself and Buzzy Hellring and Johnny Hines were very close friends. And so we together kind of worked on having the game kind of get as broad an appeal as we could. My friend Buzzy Hellring, who is no longer with us, we felt we should get it down, how to play the game, and he said, well, let me write a set of the rules.
That then was able to merge in and ultimately take over the mantle of being the Columbia High School Frisbee team from a bunch of guys who really didn't take the game very seriously. Well, this is it. This is the this was part of the Columbia mystique, was when people would come to play us. Once we started to get some high school teams going, they would come, we would show them where we played, and they'd say, oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. And then we'd find a grass field somewhere.
In the beginning, as I recall, we had no depth of the goal area. It was just sort of defined by the parking lot.
I started coming down to the field here in 1969. I had been very friendly with some of the people who were part of the Richmond Avenue gang. Our group of players had been playing a version of Ultimate. The Joel Silver, Buzzy Hellring group of people had been playing their version of Ultimate. And we got together when our kids got old enough to start high school.
In the fall, we began playing in the evenings after we go out on, we'd go see a movie or go out on a date or whatever, and then we all kind of meet there afterwards, and it became a great kind of fun thing to do, and we began at that time the Ultimate Frisbee squad.
The fact is that when we played in the dead of the winter in January and February, and it was quite cold, when the Frisbee was flying, when it was slapped down hard, or when it landed on its side, on a very cold day, it would shatter like a record, become so brittle in the cold. And we thought that was incredible, and we told the Whammo people about it. And Joel had started contact with the Whammo people, and they thought it was great publicity. They were already interested in what we were doing, and so Joel arranged for them to send us some crates of new Frisbees to replace those that shattered during winter play. Sometimes we'd lose 4 and 5 a night.
And we came down and were playing against and then with each other. And in those days, it was just a terrific way to spend time with your friends, get out for an evening, and just have a blast. This line was laid down
probably around 1973. The late David Meyer came down here once with some tape and some paint and laid this out and set it across. The spirit of the game actually predated 1972. In fact, it was pretty much part of the game from the very inception.
About the spirit of the game, you'll understand that what we were trying to do was we started the sport with a bunch of people who were friends. And you see these people every day. You know their lives, you know their parents, you know their girlfriends. And it just wouldn't make sense to do anything to potentially hurt one of these people. Because if you hurt them in a game you were playing, the next day you had to go to science class with them. These are lifelong friendships.
Since we were really organizing almost an anti-sport, one of the elements of it was to have ourselves be the governors.
We never had a referee when we were just playing pickup games at the lot. That's just the way it was. First, I would say because we were all friends, and more people came, but we became friends, or they were friends of friends who were playing, and so it was just felt that you didn't need a referee.
There's the famous train. Joe, this train would go by at nighttime, and we'd pull the horn, and and as you hear the guy pulling it coming into the station, we would hear him pull the horn blast to acknowledge he saw us and that we saw him. And it was part of the tradition of playing Ultimate here at night, was to have the train go by and we would say hello.